I'm not raising black children. I'm raising children. I'm not raising black men. I'm raising men. And whether you are black or you are white, no matter what race that you are, there are certain things about being a man and being a good man when it comes to character and integrity and safeguarding the helpless and sticking up for those who need it. And being a good man of reputation, none of that has to do with skin color. Everything has to do with the character of the man. I know how much pressure I put on myself to be a good man, to be a good husband, to be a good father. And it's the most important thing that I will ever do in my entire life. I could win the world title 1,000,000 times over and make all the money and be the guy that the whole world wants to be like or wants to follow or wants to emulate. But being a father, being a man that your children get to look up to is the most important thing that I will ever do in my entire life. And I know how much I've wanted to be a father for a very, very long time. It needed to be the right time. So it was a scary embarking on a new journey. And it all happened very, very quickly. It was all perfectly timed the way it was supposed to be. There was even little delays here and there. That once again, a delay is not always a bad thing. God's timing works out exactly the way that it's supposed to every single time. And as human beings, we question it and we second guess it, or we're mad at God because this didn't happen or this door closed. But so many times doors close or doors stay closed or stay locked until the exact right time that they're supposed to. And it all happened very quickly. And we spent 2 weeks in a hotel room and, bought a bunch of baby stuff because it all happened so fast. And it was, looking back, it was so chaotic. There was a time where we thought we might just be one and done, because she's a career woman and I'm a career man, and we take it so seriously that it's so important to us that, do we have the amount of resources that we need? Do we have the amount of bandwidth that we need? And she's cut back and I've cut back or made certain sacrifices. Like even, I train in Florida, but I fly home every single weekend on Friday and then hop on the Sunday flight. And that's a physical sacrifice that I make on my body to make sure that I am home and present with the boys for a couple days during training camp. It doesn't matter. I made the decision that if my fight career suffers because I want to hop on a plane every single weekend and brave the unknown of possibly being a little bit extra sore or stiff or a little bit more injury prone, or maybe I get a little bit sick or whatever it might be, it's a sacrifice I'm willing to make because time with them is the most important time that I will have. So if you can look back and see how it was orchestrated, there was times that we thought about it, but it just never really made sense, never really worked out. But the time that we got with Hap, him being an only child for years, was probably exactly what he needed from his own unique perspective and how he is. And he's a wonderful, wonderful big brother.
I have a tough question to ask you, but I think it's important. So your adopted children are black.
Yep.
I would imagine if it hasn't happened already, there are going to be tough issues that you're going to encounter with them. Both a lot of questions, maybe things that you can't relate to. I mean, have you thought about how you're going to tackle stuff like that when it arises?
Yeah. Well, number one, you'd never know when the tough questions are going to come, when the situations are going to arise. So it's more praying for wisdom every single day. James 1:5, he who lacks wisdom, ask for it, and the Lord your God will give it abundantly. Because whether it be me and my family, my children, being a father, or my fight career, my business, whatever it might be, just asking for wisdom and just asking that I will have the right answers to the questions in the moment and give them to me, give me the wisdom in the moment, because the situations will arise. And it's so obvious. Obviously, if you look at the way my boys look compared to me, you say, okay, well, their skin is dark and his skin is light. We are a biracial family. But when I see them, they look exactly like me. When I see them, I can't imagine my sons not looking not like me as the world would see it, right? So it's praying for wisdom and asking for wisdom. And it's also, It's also trying to bulletproof them as much as possible when it comes to their mindset and their self-esteem and their self-concept. Because there's been moments, I'm sure, that has arose, and my son and sons who want to be just like me, they want to be just like me, but they know that their skin color is different than me. That's the way that God made them. My son Hap is going to be probably 6 inches taller than I am because he's already, much taller, right? So we are going to look different in a lot of different ways, but we're so similar in all the ways that matter. We're so similar in all the ways that matter. And you get this question too, where it's like, well, hey, you're a white dude from Missouri living in Nashville. How are you going to raise black children? And my thought is, and it probably rubs people the wrong way, and it's probably the wrong answer that people want to hear, is I'm not raising black children. I'm raising children. I'm not raising black men. I'm raising men. And whether you are black or you are white, no matter what race that you are, there are certain things about being a man and being a good man when it comes to character and integrity and safeguarding the helpless and sticking up for those who need it and being a good man of reputation. None of that has to do with skin color. Everything has to do with the character of the man. And like I said, it's probably probably not an answer that some people would say is important, but that's where the world has gone, where we think that the most important thing about us is our skin color or our gender or our sex or our political affiliation or all these different identity politics or the identities that we put on each other, when really we're just human beings on this earth. And there are certain things about being a good person that transcend skin color and age and sex and religion and all of those different things.
I love that answer. No matter where you're watching Shawn Ryan Show from, if you get anything out of this, please like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, share this everywhere you possibly can. And if you're feeling extra generous, please leave us a review on Apple and Spotify podcasts.